I'm Parker Dahl,
And I'm Warren Eichhoff,
and welcome to So What?
a place where we ask the question that is on the mind of many of our students: so what?
Why do I need to know about spices? I just put paprika in everything.
Wait. On everything? And people like this?
I'm people, and I think it's fine.
You're never allowed to cook for me. The following are but some of the answers to these questions, and as always, you should do your own research and cooking.
Today, we will talk about the age of exploration.
Specifically, the development of the spice trade.
Spice.
Treasure of the universe.
It's going to start with the collapse of Constantinople. Wait, that can't be right. We already talked about that with the Renaissance.
How many times have I told you, read the script before you talk?
I did read it. Okay, I skimmed it, but it's basically the same thing.
Apparently not. Look at the script.
It says right here. The fall of Constantinople was a major development in the Renaissance. See, I pay attention.
Keep reading.
This will cut off Europeans from Eastern trade routes, which will cause some nations to explore a cheaper option for accessing the spice trade. Oh. Well, I mean, but why didn't they just trade with them anyways?
The Byzantine Empire was a Christian empire and made deals with other Christian nations, which was most of Europe at this time. They would eventually fall to the Ottoman Empire, and this was a Muslim civilization. There was a lot of animosity between these two regions, so that was a deterrent for European nations. But more than anything, Ottomans raised the prices on goods that they were trading, which ate into the profit margins of merchants.
It was at this point that some nations that weren't benefiting at all from the spice trade said the most stereotypical infomercial line. There just has to be a better way.
New innovations in sea travel will make voyages outside the Mediterranean Sea more possible. People will feel that the chances for success on a long voyage might outweigh the chances of failure.
So what, laddie?
Thor, is that you again? We already solved your problems.
I am no Thor. I am Gimli, son of Gloin. I don't know why you humans are always so fascinated with new innovations. We dwarves mastered the art of smithing centuries ago. If you want something done right, you need to make it the old way, the dwarven way.
I bet you love antique shops. But we should go back and check in with our Italian merchant in the year 1490. Hello, random Italian merchant. Again. Can you please tell me how marvelous you are feeling about this booming economy?
Here in Venice, we have mastered the art of seafaring and trade. The economy, of course, is booming, and for centuries we've traded with our Ottoman partners. They strike a hard bargain, but we've made a killing off of spices.
What if I told you that there was a way to sail directly to India? That way, you could just pick up the spices at their source.
Say it isn't so. Why do something different when what we have is working so well? But I am listening.
Great! All you need to do is sail west, outside the Mediterranean, and then...
Wait, sail out of the Mediterranean? But that would mean that the seas would be much rougher. Nope, I don't think I will do that.
But what if you have a really nice antique ship?
Those things are death traps. They are so slow and heavy, just waiting to get bashed around in rough seas. People who sail into the West are never heard from again. I like being heard. I'm staying here.
Can't argue with that logic. I shall leave now. For the West. As you can see, a lack of appropriate tools can stop people from exploring.
There were many innovations that would make sea travel more successful. Shipbuilding would be perfected and ships would become lighter and sturdier.
That only counts as one.
Europeans will use sails that they found through trading with Arabic nations. The lateen sail is a triangular sail that will allow somebody to sail into the wind.
The astrolabe will be used to look at the positioning of stars to navigate in the open ocean.
Without innovation, the cost-benefit analysis of trying to sail into uncharted waters would have just simply been too high for people. Sure, if you make it to India, then there are untold riches you could tap into. But if there's a 95% chance that you're going to die on the way there, then most people aren't even going to consider doing it. This can be seen with Vasco da Gama.
Da Gama will only make it to India after earlier explorers had mapped out the western course of Africa, showing that it was possible to go around it.
Innovation has often led to advancements throughout society.
The printing press in the 1430s will make books more accessible and will ultimately lead to a rise in literacy.
The invention of the steam engine in 1712 will allow for the transport of people and goods at speeds never thought possible.
The developments of vaccines in 1796 will encourage people to study diseases and further significantly reduce mortality rates.
Gunpowder will be discovered in the 10th century, and from there, spread around the world. This will spark the creation of weapons that will forever change the face of warfare.
Spark the creation, lol, because, spark plus gunpowder goes boom.
The personal computer in the 1970s will be the start of the tech boom that we are still living in today.
Innovations can drastically change the world, but not always in good ways. There are drawbacks in almost everything.
The invention of the plane in 1903 will go on not just to be used for travel, but as a tool for war.
The rise of the automobile in the late 19th century will encourage people to live further away from their occupation, leading to urban sprawl, traffic jams, and an increase in greenhouse gas production.
The rise of rocketry in 1926 is going to be the precursor to space exploration. It will also be the precursor to those same rockets being used as a means of warfare.
The atomic bomb was an innovation that absolutely changed the face of the Earth. It led to generations of people living with rational fear of global annihilation, as it was actually only a button away.
This isn't just warfare either. Take the internet, for example. This is undoubtedly something that has impacted everybody's lives today. Information is more available, and people are more connected than at any previous point in history.
But the internet has also made the spread of disinformation not only easier, but more targetable. Instead of putting up pamphlets and seeing if people will read them, the internet allows for those messages to be sent in mass to people directly.
It has also allowed for groups of people to find each other, whether it be as simple as fans of a series just sharing their opinions.
But it has also been used to connect hate groups like the neo-Nazis and help spread their ideas.
What are we waiting for?
The point of innovation is not to say that it is good or bad, but to note how it impacted society.
Those impacts will depend on your point of view. The age of exploration will undoubtedly be great for Europe, but it will have impacts on other continents that will feel more of the downside.
We will talk about those impacts next time, but if you should take one thing from our discussion of innovations, it is this.
While many people throughout history have been obsessed with the question, can I create a world-changing innovation?
Few have paused long enough to ask another question. Should I create a world-changing innovation?
Every decision has its costs and its benefits. It is our responsibility to not overlook the potential impacts of our decision.
So, what should you do next?
I suppose we dwarves might also consider this question. For it is in the mines of Moria that we asked how deep we could dig. But we did not consider the terror that could be unleashed by such an act. Yes, we shall innovate, but we will learn this lesson and do so responsibly.
And that was the last I ever saw of the shiny domed oracle. I tried to warn him, but he traveled west and was never seen from again.